INFJs are the rarest Myers-Briggs personality types, and perhaps the most sensitive. People view them as quiet, introverted beings who are easily offended because they take everything personally. Are INFJs really that fragile and cold-hearted? Or are they simply misunderstood since there are so few of them out there? The truth is that INFJs are extremely complicated to understand and have many layers that make up their personality as a whole. Here's why INFJs may seem cold-hearted and aloof when they're generally some of the most caring people out there. 10. Depth of processing. INFJs are highly sensitive people, or HSPs. This means that they tend to process information around them more deeply than others. They try to see patterns even in the most unusual thing. It's easy for them to become so engrossed with solving a problem or a puzzle in their head that they lose track of time. While everyone absorbs information from the world around them, both subconsciously and consciously, INFJs compare the information they perceive with what they already know. They then organize everything into patterns so that they can see the deeper meanings behind things. As you can imagine, this takes up a lot of quiet, reflective time. Sometimes they space out so much that they begin disconnecting from the world around them and don't seem to listen or care about what's happening in the present. Number 9. Overstimulation. Sensitive people like INFJs absorb more information than others, even subconsciously. They're more aware of everyone's emotions, and in an environment where emotions are high, they can experience information overload more quickly. INFJs are extremely empathetic and want everyone's emotions to be heard. When they're overloaded with information like other people's feelings and moods, noise, crowds, or bright lights, they become too stressed and simply shut down. INFJs are easily overwhelmed by too many stimulants, be it strong smell or a scratchy fabric. This is not an overreaction but an inherent trait. They feel like the volume is turned on too high all the time or the light is too bright all day, which either brings them to tears or makes them completely avoid people. Number 8. Emotional responsivity. INFJs react more strongly to experiences as compared to others. In fact, studies have shown that this strong reaction takes place in areas of the brain that are associated with experiencing strong emotions, and also those areas that are involved in perceiving things and thinking. Other researchers found that highly sensitive people's brains displayed greater responsiveness to the feelings of other people. This implies that INFJs often feel as though they're experiencing other people's feelings themselves, making them highly empathic. When overwhelmed with a flood of negative or positive emotions, they may shut down. In some cases, the INFJ may shut down because they're simply looking for the right words to say. Since they're extremely nice and compassionate, they may not want to offend someone who's going through a lot and may choose not to say anything instead. Unfortunately, this makes them seem cold-hearted. Number 7. They keep their guards up. Not only do other Myers-Briggs personality types find INFJs hard to understand, but INFJs also feel highly misunderstood. They're highly sensitive beings who don't like mistreating others or being mistreated themselves. As a result, they take quite a lot of time opening themselves up to others and letting their guards down. Sometimes the walls are so high that it's impossible for others to climb. While this may make an INFJ seem cold-hearted to others, the actual reason is something different. INFJs only want to make meaningful memories and connections with others and have deep conversations about things that matter. This is why they take their time to understand other people and choose to form meaningful, loyal, and warm connections instead of superficial ones. Number 6. They feel burnt out. INFJs are super sensitive souls who are easily overwhelmed. But like all people, they too have the limits. If they feel too stressed by their environment or the people around them, they either cry their hearts out or become super quiet and prefer to stay alone. On the other side of things, some INFJs may resort to being cold, blunt, and sarcastic or speak to others only on a superficial level. An INFJ will only turn into the opposite of who they are when they are stressed beyond measure or pushed too far and their shadow functions take over. This tends to happen when an INFJ feels their giving nature has been taken advantage of and they're being badgered into doing things they dislike. Number 5. They feel betrayed. When INFJs feel that someone close to them has let them down or betrayed them, they cut those people out of their life permanently. While this may seem drastic to those on the outside, it is usually the result of weeks or years of someone hurting the INFJ. If an INFJ resorts to this door slam, it's likely that they have tried their best to mend the relationship, but has given up since they felt drained and exhausted. INFJs tend to be there for other people, caring about their feelings and even forgiving their shortcomings. They always have a shoulder to cry on and are very giving. As sensitive introverts, INFJs are more susceptible to attracting toxic, narcissistic, or emotionally draining people because they have an innately helpful nature and don't even ask for much in return. However, INFJs also desire kindness, mutual support, and harmony to thrive in a relationship and don't like being taken for granted. An INFJ door slam may seem ever more cold-hearted since they don't inform the person that they slammed the door on them, but simply cease all communication with them and shut themselves off emotionally. Some may assume that the empathetic INFJ will feel bad for the door slam and resume communication, but they don't. They've had the last straw, and when they muster up the courage to shut their door, they feel relieved the struggle is over and the burden and hurt are finally gone. Number 4, they need time to recharge. Being friends with an INFJ means that you have to get used to them disappearing now and then. While this may seem like they're running away or shirking from their responsibilities, the real reason why they disappear is that they need time to recharge. INFJs need plenty of sleep, enough time to themselves, and downtime so that they can recharge their batteries. When they spend a lot of time with others, especially in a large social group or in a noisy environment, they feel drained. They become so tired that they lack the energy to go out and do simple things. Similarly, INFJs feel stressed, anxious, and rattled when they have tons to do in a short period of time. They may also feel this way when they're not given enough time to reflect on the problem at hand or if there's someone watching them. So to deal with everything, they need to withdraw to a place where they can have privacy and find relief from overstimulation. They're not running away from their problems or being rude. They just need to give their brains a chance to process all the information they have absorbed. Number 3, sensitivity to subtleties. Highly sensitive people like INFJs are more aware of the small changes and subtleties in the environment. These can be things like a change in someone's body language, a change in temperature or mood, something which INFJs may not be aware of themselves. Since INFJs are extremely organized and meticulous, these changes and subtleties might throw them off. Being perfectionists by nature, they can then become so absorbed by the changing situation that they may spend hours reorganizing everything from scratch. INFJs love being prepared for every scenario, and even subtle changes in their environment can throw them off, especially if things don't go as planned. So when they try to take control of the situation, they may seem cold-hearted and dominating. Number 2, they want to be respected. INFJs are hands-down people pleasers, and they can be super eager to please everyone around them, as they feel other people's emotions intently. They just want everyone to be happy. While this is a noble virtue, their inability to say no makes them take on more responsibilities than they can handle. At the same time, INFJs are aware that they are different from other Myers-Briggs types, and this can make them feel like there's something weird wrong with them. So when people criticize or judge them for being people pleasers, for saying no, or for being sensitive, they develop a low self-esteem, and this makes them withdraw even more. Number 1, they care too much. The people who seem cold and heartless are often the ones with the biggest hearts. INFJs are genuinely concerned about everyone. In fact, sometimes they're so concerned that they give pieces of their hearts to everyone they care about, whether they deserve it or not. When they realize that they care too much about the wrong people, they toughen up and become firm in their stance to avoid getting hurt again. But even then, an INFJ can never be truly heartless, and when they trust again, their warm, caring nature shines again. Have you met a cold-hearted INFJ? As an INFJ, have you ever slammed the door on anyone? Comment below. As always, like and share this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates on psychology.